So League of Empires, my own team, United Nations playing against the Saltinate. This would be Division 2. So second highest division of the 4 divisions in League of Empires. This is our home map, United Nations, and my teammates, the Ghost, Akkal-AOE, and the Sonder are playing against There's Always a Hole, Richard, Neville, Earl, Warwick, and Captain Binjuice. That's going to be a tongue twister to say these names multiple times, but I'll do my very best, so to say. Right, so what do we have here? We have Arabia for our home map. Let's just have a quick talk about the civilizations. Although you can see them down here, it's just good to speculate on what the plan might be here. Pocket for 19 nations. We have, sorry, flank, of course, not pocket. Flank for 19 nations would be the Gauss playing as Saracens. So no doubt he's going to go into the archers. Saracens with the market abuse potential and their bonus attack against buildings. It's not a bad pick after all. Looking forward to seeing how the Ghost will perform here. And in the pocket position, we have the Sonder playing pocket again. He is our highest rated player, but his elo is tiny bit deceiving, I have to say, because he's a beast on Nomad, but on regular maps is obviously very solid as well, but maybe not necessarily 1600 level of all maps, if you can put it that way. You know, we have our different strengths, so he kind of inflated his a little bit for now, but obviously a very solid player. I don't want to down talk on the rear. I'm just stating that he's even more solid on Nomad than other maps. Oh, Mount Gruster, you're new to the team, I see. Well, welcome to the league then. Maybe we'll see you next season, who knows. And finally, right-hand side for United Nations, we have Akkal-AOE with a Malay. So not the most picked civilization for Arabia, whether it be team games or 1v1s, but they have an amazing power spike for their archers. They will usually play archers in team games by going up to the H's 66% faster. So that's an obvious advantage for the Malay to get to Arbalest before the opponent. They have some other bonuses going for them as a late game. That forced levy could come into play. That is a technology that lets the Malay 200 swordsman cost only food. That could actually be a very nice trash unit to have in a pinch in the late game. We'll see where it goes to here. You can see the players' technologies and yeah, research is here. That's the most important ones anyway. Let's see for the other team. You have Richard Neville, Earl of Warwick here in the red. He's playing a Sicilian's flank. And that is a peculiar choice. I don't think I've ever seen a Sicilian flank in a TG before, but we also only get to pick each civ 3 times. So it might not be the worst idea ever to do that. And Sicilians, they take less damage from counter units, so you can't really comfortably just mix in skirms and be fine with it if you're Akkal-AOE here, who's early on the wall up here. By the way, he might be thinking about a fast castle play, actually. Actually, they're both walling their sides, so never mind. But Sicilians, yeah, they get access to Arbalest. I don't think they're missing any crucial upgrades. And then they have the donjons as well, so we might see a donjon rush here, which could be awkward to handle if you're not prepared for it. In all fairness, Akkal-AOE should actually just drop his archer's plans here and tower rush these Sicilians, because they don't get regular towers, they struggle. So for the pocket position here, before we move into the feudal age, we'll see as they are on the way up here. Pocket, we have Captain Binjuice with the Franks here. I think he might have played pocket the last game as well. I don't 100% remember, but Franks obviously a very solid pocket save. And then to the left we have Vikings for There's Always a Hole. I was up against him the previous game, and he seemed to have more than decent archers micro and control, so he's going to be a challenge for the Gauss on this side, especially with the Vikings economy behind everything here. Let's look at the transitions here though. We actually have, yeah, we have Akkal-AOE with 23 pop up there with the Malay. That's honestly not very surprising with the Malay going up faster. We have the Ghost with the 21 pop straight archers here, I think, with Saracens. And absolutely doable. We could use the market to tweak your economy as needed. And for the other team, they're all on the way up as well. We have the Vikings player just about to go up here, opting for the men-at-arms opening, but he's only going to be pounding away at the walls here if the Ghost gets his way. So, not necessarily any success with the men-at-arms here if the Ghost gets up and gets his first few archers out. And it looks like... well, yeah, Captain Binjus and Sonder are going up, but Sonder is going up here at 25 pop. So he is actually going to play this in a fast castle style, I think. Let's have a look at the resources. I think he's actually going to be able to pull this off here. He has 400 something food. He didn't see it in the farms though, so maybe he has something different in mind here. But this map certainly, if he can complete these walls in times, to have that faster castle with Berbers is just ginormous advantage. So the militia are here, but they will only be pounding away at walls for now, as the Ghost is about to complete his here. We could have a look at player number 8 scouting here, see if he's gathered some intel, he knows there might be walls here. Captain Binjus is here to possibly assist as well. I don't see any men-at-arms research here though, which is kind of weird. It seems to be... oh, yeah, good job the Ghost, keeping the militia out here. Weird that he doesn't go with men-at-arms yet here. Captain was my flank, Richard was pocket. Gotcha, so they've switched positions here. I'll corner straight with the double ranges with the Malay here, and the Richard Neville making scouts. Flank scouts for the Sicilians. It's honestly not the worst idea. Scouts take less damage from spears as well. He has some very local walling here, so he'll be safe from his scouts, but I think he will struggle against Alconders. Alconder could hit this flank on his own, I think, because yeah, Richard isn't playing conventionally, playing the archers here on flank, and that just opts for much more damage all on his own for Alconder. The militia found their way in, but the Ghost, he has his first few archers out. Let's see that KD tab here. He killed something. I'm assuming that might be enemy scout because the orange scout isn't here. Sonder, oh, we'll just keep the enemy scouts out here. Nice. And he has the blacksmith market, so that's a giveaway for Captain Binjus, though, that his opponent is going past castle. So now the clock is ticking for the Frank's pocket to go more quickly to the next stage here. He goes for the full walls at home now. Yeah, he misses a little bit, but that's in the backside. Not a huge issue. I'd actually love to see him walling a bit further out, because then this woodland would be off limits for any archers board as well. But I think the Ghost is quite comfortable now. Pocket scouts are just pounding away at wall. The only player not completely walled yet is Alconder, but he's not in any danger. The purple scouts are on the other side. I mean, he still might get hit by Sicilian scouts here. Let's actually look at Alconder's scouting here to see if he knows what to expect here. He actually doesn't know about the stables, so he must be thinking that his opponent is going for archers here as well with the Sicilians, especially since the blacksmith is up as well. But let's see. The clock is ticking for the walls, but he knows that the purple player is making scouts, so he still has some spearmen out to protect the wallers. I think Alconder could be getting some good damage down here. Defensive donjon. Oi, 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 oi. Sicilians can't make towers. This is the only building that goes up, but I think Alconder could still sit under the donjon, take it out with archers like you would a tower. And he backed out for now, okay. Still a huge investment for the red player, Richard Neville here. It's all 200 stone in one defensive donjon here, which basically only protects the stone and archers trail. Alconder should still loop around and hit the gold, right? So he could still snipe filters, and he did get some kills here. He did get 2 kills. He's being doubled up by scouts now, though, for Alkolner. He's playing the bait for this one. There's a flare in the middle. I think Sonder and the Ghost are going to coordinate on this side, maybe. I mean, there's so many scouts, so there are 13 scouts total here. That's certainly a pain to deal with. But Alkolner has the Archer's Masses now. He has fletching and armor, actually, so he cleans up those. It's a mobility of scouts that's a bit hurtful here. The red scouts are in as well. What is this? This is not what Alkolner signed up for. But hopefully he's going to be able to clean this up while his teammates are doing their thing. We see that Sonder has 2 DCs already. He is the only player in the Castle Age, as the Frank's Pocket just clicked the Castle Age. And you know what might happen when Berbers hit the Castle Age first. They have 15% cheaper cavalry, so they can really outmass their opponents easily. But these scouts, though, so annoying. They are, in all fairness, causing quite a bit of idle eco time on Alkolner here. He has the highest idle eco ticker of all here, and idle TC time as well, but he actually just needs to weather a storm here. He's the one being 2v1'd by exclusively scouts here, and he did go forward with the archers to force a defensive dodge of the red player anyway, who is not going archers, so Alkolner isn't looking at the archers on this side anytime soon. Let's head over to the other flank. The Ghost seems to be holding it nicely on his own here. And he's going up to Castle Age on 42 builders here. 60 population total. Something is actually out-popping. So the Sonder here. He's taking out production capabilities. He is Saracens after all, so he can do that with the bonus attack against buildings. So that's actually kind of quite huge if he is able to snipe on the ranges from There's Always a Hole now, because that means that There's Always a Hole will need to rebuild the range and spend units, resources that way. Only 2 skirmishers in the mix here shouldn't be a huge worry for the Ghost here. Is just able to snipe the range here. Good job there. And then, of course, There's Always a Hole in the orange here needs to drop into the range. I think I'll call the Ghost is... I mean, it's great to take out buildings, but it's also not challenging the numbers here. But the Vikings player is lower in numbers, so I guess it's a reasonable call, and he has to stay in close to the hill here, so the orange player can't comfortably engage. Nice archers play so far. Sonder with the knights already, as the Frags player is actually up as well. But let's see if Sonder has the appropriate upgrades here for his knights. He has, yeah, he has +2 defense, which is the most important when working together against archers. I'm guessing Sonder was over here as well to help clean up the last few scouts, and now he's gonna double up with Alkolner here to... I think they should hit pocket, actually. I think they should hit pocket. Because red is, yeah, he's on the way up. He might be bringing some Sicilian knights to the field here, but as the game goes longer, Sicilians aren't necessarily, they aren't that strong. He may have a castle drop in the planning here, though. He's going to stone castle, donjons, TCs, we'll see. Sonder should have the military superiority here with his earlier cast stage. The Ghost is holding his own nicely on the left-hand side. As 1 minute 20 seconds still for the Vikings player to go up. The Ghost, you need to run in here and slaughter this army, and it might just be GG here. Don't be too passive. Just run in and engage. There we go, I think. And Sonder is going to join up on the Vikings side, actually. I think it makes sense if Alkolner is in again here. Just before... But he pulls back out because Castle Age kicked in for the red player, I guess. So there's Castlate, for there's always a hole just now, but he's going to lose his whole army before he can even get to crossbows here. The Ghost is just sitting outside using these Saracens archers to demolish the walls, the buildings, everything. This is not looking great for the orange player, but they shouldn't leave Captain Bindrus alone for too long either, even if he was the pocket and later the next stage here. Population looking great though, look at the graph here, we have 130 villagers to 112. We have much more army for United Nations here, and Alcorner is just waiting, pulling back his crossbows pending that Castle Age transition. He can hopefully wall this out, but if not, he will deal with it with his own crossbows at home and just play defensive, which doesn't matter too much at this point. I think the Ghost signaled that he's okay on his own here, because they literally obliterated all of the Vikings players' army here. The Franks Knights, they have +2 as well, I believe, but the Ghost just has numbers and he keeps supplying them as well. We see 2 ranges working here. Sonder with constant supply from the military in the middle as well. Yeah, a couple of knights from Sonder here, so Alcolner will clean up these few Sicilian knights forward, shouldn't be an issue. Oh, the quick gate! Almost pathing the knights right into the crossbows faces here, but there's no escape for the Earl of Warwick here. He will be getting one builder potentially, but that's all he's gonna get. He actually didn't get that one either. Let's have a look at KD now for this one. A flare from O'Connor. I think it's just signaling that he's ready to move out, dropping the siege workshop on the hill here as well. And the Ghost is he pulling? Yeah, he's pulling it into his pocket, of course. They've done much damage to the Vikings. He'll need to rebuild 2 more ranges at least to match the numbers here. And now this just about diminishing the numbers and the boom of the pocket, who is currently on 2,000. Just casually passing the Ghost's archers here. The Ghost has ballistics. Alconnor doesn't have it yet, but to be fair, he got obstructed by shit tons of scouts. So his cast age transition got a little delayed. I think Alconnor can push the right hand. I still think Alconnor can push the right hand side on his own though, because the original rebel won't be receiving any help from the pocket. Yeah, Saracen's archers still strong against buildings. Look at this. Stable down. Siege workshop could be the next target as well, if you dare hang around there. The Ghost has barely been killing armies. Well, he didn't kill the Vikings archers, but he's been taking out more buildings and units, I think. It's 34 13 KD, Sonder with 50 to 18 as well. Some players in the middle, they're not staying together though. I don't like that. That Sonder is fighting knights and the Ghost is left all on his own here. Sicilians with the defensive castle. Alconder is smart to back away here because the Sicilian castles, they just build so quickly. Another stable goes down for the frags. This doesn't look too pretty for the Saltinate. We have the Vikings with full 3TC boom here trying to get back into it, but army is going to be an issue. He has 2 mangonels. I'm guessing that's mainly defensive purposes. But he also recognizes that the Ghost is in the pocket space, so now there's always a whole time to shine. The Ghost doesn't have any defensive siege here, but I think they'll finish off the pocket before the Orange can do any significant damage here. So Alcondra is in. Does he know about the castle though? Yeah, he knows it's... No, he doesn't know it's there. He'll know now. And he can't engage. I feel like they could just rainbow the pocket or something and end this game. Pocket has some numbers back in. Man defensive Mangonel did get a juicy shot in here by the looks of it. But it's still... Look at the army numbers. It's 110 military to 28 here. the United Nations might very well take this one. The Sonder even hitting Imp here now at 33 something. Perks of having cheaper knights as the Berbers, because now he'll have access to 20% cheaper cavalry, Cavalier, whatever, he's getting Cavalier, he has the +2 defense, and not so many knights to benefit from it, to be fair. I guess Captain Binjus has been holding on nicely here against the 2v1, partly because lack of coordination between the Gauss and the Sonder, I think, as well. They didn't stay close, they didn't stay too close. But the Ghost managed to salvage some units. Of course, he has to attend to the aggression at home. But with the help of Sonder's Knights, the mangonels are a non-issue here. And again, the army numbers here are just, yeah, very solid. I'll corner with the mangonel now, and the ram. So if he gets a few more rams out, he could ram down the castle here. But looking at the sheer army numbers here, this is a game that is going to take the comeback of a lifetime for the Saltinate to win. But in the Saltinate's defense, I casted one league game from when they were in Division 3 last season, and they had a 1 hour 30 minutes game against distant lands, which could have now Xul, that could have essentially gone anywhere anyway. And I actually don't remember who won that, but nevertheless, the Saltinate certainly a solid team as well. The problem here is that both flanks of the Saltinate are full on defensive here. Sonder moving some builders forward. I think he's thinking about a castle drop, potentially. Let's have a look at the resources for the Sonder. Yeah. No, that's gold. Never mind. Yeah, maybe just some forward stables to have shorter walking distance. Player in the middle, the Ghost with the forward castle on the hill here. Nice fallback points for his units and a point for Treb pushing once he reaches the Imperial Age. Akkal-AOE is also on the way up and will have access to Capt Rams, Trebuchet's castle, and yeah, overall solid play here from all sides. Right now, Akkal-AOE is left on his own though. But cavalry raids, they are making life difficult for the Saltinate here. We have 3 players still in the Castle Age and soon 3 players to be in the Imperial Age for United Nations. Some solid raids going down here. Look at the KDs as well. The Sonder 91 to 34. Akkal-AOE with a less significant one, but he's been very careful about keeping his army, so he's going to have a huge amount of crossbows to become arbalests here in just a moment. And the Ghost with the Saracens as well. He's got 25 seconds to go. He's casually taking the forward gold of the order here as well. And that's the GG. And just see if I can find there's a new hotkey for achievements here that you could show in the, never mind, let's go to AOE 2. So that ends up with a 2-0. Let's have a quick look at the stats here. The Sonder MVP by the looks of it. No, the Ghost gets the MVP badge actually. So they're both be playing it very solidly here. 6,500 score for the Sonder. KD 96 to 34. Largest army for the Archers players though, as is often the case in team games. Let's see the eco tab as well. Ridiculous food eco for Sonder. He probably had a nice boom going there with... What? He wasn't past 100 villagers? That's some insane efficient food eco though. Maybe I'll need to watch Sonder's farms and learn from them. And... up times here. I mean, all 3 players in the Gauss was just around the corner in Imperial Age as well, so we'd have 3 players in Imp. And let's see buildings raised as well for the Ghost. 13 buildings raised. He raised the most buildings here, but he did kill units as well. So, to be fair, he did all right there. All right, but GG, and that is actually a 2-0 or 19 nations. We don't have a lot of those, so we take those, as they say.